Hello, everybody. My name is Eric D. Johnson, also known as BrightShine. I live right here in the city of Memphis. It's in the county sheriff. It's in the state of Tennessee. Today's date is Monday morning, July the 13th, 2026. The time is 10:40 a.m. First thing, thank you, my family, my support for me, continue to keep myself employed in the Memphis tri-state area, continue to further my education by working toward earning my social degree, studying business administration, contract marketing. Present time, I took a break from going to school. In the future, I do intend to go back to school and continue to work toward earning my social degree, studying business administration, contract marketing, as well as other degrees. Now, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to start my Facebook Live. Hello, everybody. My name is Eric D. Johnson, also known as BrightShine. I live right here in the city of Memphis. It's in the county sheriff in the state of Tennessee. Today's date, Monday morning, July the 13th, 2026. Time, 10:46 a.m. First, I thank you to my family, my support for continue to keep myself employed in this Memphis tri-state area and continue to further my education, studying by pursuing my social degree, studying business administration, contract marketing. Present time, took a break and going to school in the future. I do intend to go back to school, continue to work toward earning my social degree, studying business administration, contract marketing, as well as other degrees. Now, first, I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, Son of God, for all the blessing God provides us all with. Continue to pray about natural disasters, continue to pray about wars that are being fought, and just continue to pray. Continue to pray without ceasing. Now, last weekend, as you know, I did make my video, but what I was doing, I had recorded some video. I had recorded, the 4th of July, which was last weekend. And so, matter of fact, it was Saturday night. Yeah, Saturday. And so, hope and pray that any and everybody had a safe and happy 4th of July celebration. Like I said, I was down on the riverfront, down in Tomley Park and everything, and it was pretty nice activities. Like I said, the fireworks. And all that things that go along with 4th of July. So again, I hope and pray that any and everybody had a safe and happy 4th of July. And so doing my video today, I ain't gonna be long there. I wasn't intending on starting my video this time of the morning. I was intending on starting my video earlier, and but I wasn't able to. So, but I'm still able to record my video now. And so, just remind me of Marvin Gaye. This situation right here. You remember that song, What's Going On? And so, see, that was a story behind it, So I'm just going to get straight to it, hey, look, when it comes to, like what's going on, see, what happened was, I just happened to walk in. the time, they was, you know, in the process of recording. And so when I walked in, you know, I'm like, what's up, what's happening? And so, so somebody said, what's happening? And then everybody else, so some people turned around, they were like, what's going on? What's going on? Oh. So I'm like, okay, you gotta get one in, okay. Okay. Oh boy. Okay. Oh boy. Woo. You know, you got to get one in, man. But being that it's election time, I mean, you know, 4th of July, the 4th of July, and you know, celebrating independence and everything, from Britain, you know, here in the United States of America. They were, you know, at the time of the 4th of July, they was like, you know, this year, 2026, this 4th of July gonna be like the 250th anniversary. You know, it's a lot of political stuff, you know, a lot of political, you know. You know, we were trying to be independent from this monarchy, you know, and things of this nature. And so, you know, we you know, the Revolutionary War and was fought, and you know, we like, look, man, we're gonna declare our independence, the Declaration of Independence, and next thing you know, the Constitution, you know, get written, and you know, so you know, it's a lot of political stuff, you know, and so you know, I had this little joke and everything about this time, about you know, all this political stuff, you know, all this politics and stuff. So, you know, oh boy, this is a good one. You know, it's one of them old ones. You know, it's an old one. It's an old one. It's old joke. You know, it's older than the United States of America. That's how old it is. You know what I'm saying? But name of this joke here, man, is no comment. No comment. Hey, just think about, I was at the Comedy Club, you know, and I had walked in and everything. And the security guard, he got past the security guard. Some contraband. Oh, he got the little wand. He got past the security guard. Oh boy. But like I said, this joke here is no comment. You know, had this guy had won an election, right, for the mayor's office. So he was coming up for re-election. Make sure that's. So like I said, you know, they had this guy, man. You know, he had won an election to be the mayor of the town, you know, of the city. So he was coming up for, so this guy was coming up for re-election. And he was being asked questions about, you know, while he was in office, about some topics, some issues, while he's been in office. And so one of the things came up, one of the questions was being asked of the mayor was about you know, it was about, you know, spending money. His opponent who was running against him. So his opponent had made some accusations, some allegations, you know, that since he'd been in office, he been spending a lot of, you know, didn't balance the budget and been spending the taxpayers' money. And so one of the things that the mayor did about that while he was in office, he tried to cut his opponent's salary. He tried to cut his salary so he could save the taxpayers some money. So he was asked about it. He was like, Mayor, did you try to cut your opponent's salary? You know, because he in public office too. So he was like, no comment. so he got asked another question. And really, you know, hey, the voters were going to the polls to vote the next day. So it was like their pre-election, you know, press conference and things, you know, interview and stuff. So he got asked one guy, so he was like, no comment. So they asked him another question. He was like, what's the next question? So they were like, your opponent had accused of trying to provoke him. and talking about you been soft on crime. And the mayor was like, you know, the reporter bringing up information, talking about he had called his wife. The mayor called his opponent's wife, a bald-headed, wig-wearing bitch. And he wanted to get into a fight. So the mayor was like, he was trying to be tough on crime. He trying to be tough on crime. So he told the police to have him arrested. He gonna file charges to protect the community. And they were like, and so the reporter was like, Mayor, you care to comment on that? No comment. No comment. So they was asking him, they were like, Mayor, you know, the voters gonna go to the polls tomorrow. And some of these allegations, your opponent is saying that the garbage collectors that drove the truck on his lawn. And do you care to comment on it? The mayor was like, no comment. Okay, Mayor, it's been alleged that there's been some contracts and there have been some things that have been done, like you've been doing favors for some of these churches around the community. Do you care to comment on some of these allegations? Apparently, Mayor, some of the church members, some of their grass got cut and lawn and edged, and you've been even one of the ministers and took his car to get an oil and filter change. Mayor, and it's been alleged that you went over to the health department at night when the health department closed, and got some free condoms. Okay, and do you care to comment on no comment? And the mayor was, he was like, he didn't really want to say anything. And so on these things that were happening, or that he was being brought up, these allegations that were being brought up. And so when the election day came and the voters went and voted, the mayor won re-election. So they, and so they be like, Mayor, you run re-election. Do you have anything to say? The mayor was like, well, no comment. Despite all these allegations, the mayor still won re-election. So no comment. I don't know how he won. I can't explain those 2 times that the mayor voted for himself. I can't explain. I don't know what happened. But he cast a vote for himself twice. And so I get no comment. But he won re-election. So, boy. What time is it? Oh, okay. But ain't gonna be long on the day video. Like I said, I wasn't intending on starting my video this time. At this time, I was intending on starting my video earlier, but I wasn't able to. So, you know, hey, but I'm still gonna do my video today, even if it ain't for 30 minutes or an hour or whatever. You know, I'm still making my video today. The mayor still won re-election. But Now, while it's still on my mind, one God, one. The stupid Gnostic going around trying to tell people the material world is evil. That's a lie. Going around talking about it's two gods. That's a lie. All that, what they call it, dualism in cosmology. Two gods. Now the polytheists, two and more than, two or more. It can be two or more polytheists. People in sub-Saharan Africa, Niger Congo, one God, one. Talking about the material world is evil. That's what the Gnostic trying to claim. That's a lie. The material world is evil. Well, this is what I'm gonna say. Then what you supposed to say? Why haven't you killed yourself yet? Now see, this Gnostic talking about the material world's evil. So he goes, he attempts and tries to destroy wildlife, nature, and the environment. North and South Pole, even going out in space. What you didn't do is kill yourself. What you didn't do is be self-destructive. Destroy yourself. That's what you didn't do. Want to destroy the little puppies and kittens so they can be euthanized at the animal shelter. But you didn't kill yourself. That's what you didn't do. Want to take the puppies and the kittens, the dogs and the cats, to the animal shelter. To the animal shelter to be euthanized. But your false claim that the material world supposedly is evil because the demiurge, who's supposed to be inferior to the superior God, we in the Holy Bible. The Holy Bible. We in the Old Testament. We're reading from the King James Version of the Holy Bible. We in the Old Testament. The book of Genesis. The first chapter, first verse. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. It didn't say no inferior. It didn't say it was two. It's talking about only one. Only one God. One. Only one. And we just read from the Old Testament. Genesis chapter 1, verse number 1. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. Now let's go to the book of Exodus. Chapter 20. Exodus chapter 20. Exodus chapter 20, verses 1 through 17. The Ten Commandments. And it reads, And God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage, that thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the father upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and shewing mercy unto 1,000 of them that love me and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and go all thy work. Six days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the seventh day is the subject, is the Sabbath. Of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work. Thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the 7th day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord excuse, which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. So just read, what's that? Exodus in the Old Testament, the book of Exodus, chapter 20, verses 1 through 17. Now, go to Deuteronomy 4. We're in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4. Okay, we're in the book of Deuteronomy in the Old Testament, chapter 4, verse 39. Know therefore this day, and consider it in my heart, that the Lord, He is God, in heaven above and upon the earth beneath. There is none else, no other God. See, all that dualism and cosmology, talking about this two, and then all this polytheism, talking about it's more than two. So like I said, we're going to the book of Joshua. Chapter 2. The book of Joshua, chapter 2, verse number 11. We're in the book of Joshua, chapter 2, verse number 11. And it reads, "And as soon as we had heard these things, our hearts did melt. Neither excuse, did there remain any more courage in any man because of you. For the Lord your God, He is God in heaven above and in earth beneath." We're in the book of Deuteronomy. Chapter 4. We're going to read verse 35 first. And we're going to also read verse 39. So let's go to verse 35. In chapter 4. So, like I said, Deuteronomy 4:35. And it reads, "Unto thee it was shewed that thou mightest know that the Lord He is God. There is none else beneath Him." Now we're going to read also in the same chapter. Chapter 4. Okay, I read that. 4:39. I read that. Okay, so that was Deuteronomy chapter 4, verses 35 through 39. We go to Deuteronomy chapter 6. Like I said, we in the Old Testament, the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6, verse number 4. Hear, O Israel, the Lord, our God, is none, is one. Y'all want Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 4. Now let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 32. We're in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32. And we're going to be reading verses 39 through 43. 39 through 43. And it reads, See now that I, even I, am He, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make live, alive. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. For I lift up my head to heaven and say, I live forever. If I whet my glittering sword, my hand take hold on judgment, I will remember messenger to face. I will render vengeance to make enemies and reward them that hate me. For I will make my arrows drunk with blood of my sword. And my sword shall devour flesh, and that with the blood of the slain and of the captives, from the beginning of revenge upon the enemy. Rejoice, O ye nations, with his people, for he will avenge the blood of his servants. And will be merciful unto his land and to his people. So like I said, read these verses. We was in the Old Testament. Don't forget the New Testament. We're going to the New Testament, 1 Corinthians, chapter 8, verse 4 and verse 6. So let's go to the New Testament, 1 Corinthians. Okay, we're in the New Testament, in the book of 1 Corinthians. Chapter 8. We're going to read verse number 4. As concerning, therefore, the eating of those things that are offered in sacrifice unto idols, we know that an idol is nothing in the world, and that there is none other God but one. Now I'm going to read verse number 6. Excuse me. It reads, but to us there is but one God, the Father, of whom are all things, and we in him, and one Lord, Jesus Christ, by whom are all things, and were by him. We're going to continue to talk about prehistoric religion, traditional, African traditional religion, traditional African religion, ancient African religion. We're going to be talking about that indefinitely. And so, So like I said, we're going to continue to talk about prehistoric religion, African traditional religion, traditional African religion, ancient African religion, also animism, shamanism. We know that talking about prehistoric religion, one of the main facts that we don't is cognition. Cognition. So when you talk about prehistoric religion, that's what all the scientists saying about the Paleolithic and the Neolithic. About cognition. That early humans, when it comes to what you believe, faith, religion, didn't have the cognitive tools that we have today. And so, when it comes to the fields of science, the branches of science, formal sciences, natural sciences, being, physical and life sciences, social sciences, behavioral, cognitive, applied science. Now, some examples of formal sciences are logic, which is also a branch of philosophy, mathematics, statistics, system science, data science, information theory, computer science, and cryptography. And we know, when we talk about science, we know mathematics is important. Mathematics is very important. We talk about time, deep time, space time, the origin of life, abiogenesis, history of life, the origin of life, timeline. The history of life, human evolution, the timeline of human evolution. Now, being that it's that time of the year when we was talking about the 250th anniversary of the United States of America. The flag, red, white, and blue. The stars on the flag, the stripes on the flag. 250th anniversary. And we can't leave out the national anthem on the 4th of July. So we know how serious the 4th of July celebration is. Black/African Americans, no longer slaves in this country, in this nation, but we are citizens. We citizens of the United States of America. It is important that we continue to talk about, the things that are important when it comes to the United States of America and being Black/African American, how much civil rights and human rights like I said, we know that civil rights and human rights are very, very important to any and everybody. To any and everybody. And so, like I said, on today's video, like I said, it wasn't my intent to start a video at this time. But still, I'm doing my video today. And so, talking about the 4th of July, the 250th anniversary, we're going to talk about these we're going to get a little political today. We're going to talk about, not that we ain't never did it before, liberal principles and conservative principles. Now, conservative principles. Now we got this artificial intelligence overview. Conservative principles emphasize limited government intervention, individual liberty, free market capitalism, traditional social values, and a strong national defense, grounded in foundational documents like the Constitution. This philosophy stresses the importance of personal responsibility, the rule of law, and gradual, prudent societal change. Now, the core pillars of conservatism encompass limited government, and that is the belief that government should be reduced as a smaller scope minimizes bureaucracy, protects constitutional checks and balances, and prevents overreach into private lives. Individual liberty and free enterprise. The conviction that individuals and families make the best decisions for themselves. This champions free market economic freedom, private property rights, in deregulation. Traditional values. Support for long established individualism. Such as a national such as the traditional nuclear family, organized religion, and cultural continuity. Rule of law and order. Strict adherence to constitutional interpretation. Strong national security and public order to ensure in public order to maintain a stable society. Now, those were conservative principles. Now, let's go to liberal principles. Now, the artificial intelligence overview. Liberalism is a political and moral philosophy centered on individual liberty, consent of the government, and equality before the law, grounded in Enlightenment ideas. It promotes human rights. It promotes human rights, democratic governance, and free market economies, and the rule of law. The foundational framework of liberal thought rests on several core principles: individual rights and freedom, the belief that individuals are the primary moral agents and possess inherent rights to life, liberty, and property. Equality. All individuals are entitled to equal treatment and equal opportunity, regardless of their society, regardless of their social background or demographic identity. The consent of the governed. Government legitimacy is derived only from the agreement of the people, usually exercised through representative democratic process. The rule of law. Both citizens and government officials are subject to the same laws, ensuring protection against arbitrary state power. Tolerance and pluralism. A commitment to the free exchange of ideas, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and the acceptance of diverse lifestyle and opinions. Classical liberalism. Emphasizes limited government private property, and free market capitalism, viewing the state primarily as a potential threat to individual freedoms. Modern liberalism argues that true freedom requires government intervention to protect individuals from external threats like extreme poverty, corporate monopolies, so when we talk about conservative principles and liberal principles, some things both parties, share. And so this these are very important things to discuss. We got a war in Iran going on. And then you still have these groups like over there in Lebanon, Hezbollah, and then of course you got another got this other person, but liberal and conservative principles. Like I say, according to this, some things they agree about the same thing, and then disagree about a lot of other things. When it comes to individual rights and freedom, the conservatives, individual liberty and free enterprise. And so, like I said, when it comes to, like when we talk about what they call the 4th of July, Independence Day, and we talk about how things have changed from then to today. When you talk about conservative principles and liberal principles, the right wing and the left wing. Of course, the conservatives are considered to be the right wing, and the liberal principles are considered to be left wing. We know that there was a time when slavery was such a big issue. And we talk about conservative principles and liberal principles. Traditional values, the rule of law, limited government, individual liberty, and free enterprise. And so, yeah, we know that the 4th of July, that's an important, for any and everybody. Conservative principles, liberal principles. So, we take time to reflect on those principles. And, be thankful that we ended slavery and that we, any and everybody have, free. And not just here in America, but around the world, all over the world. But slavery comes in many forms, like what they call sex trafficking. It's considered to be a form of slavery. Now, when we talk about modern slavery, it takes many illegal, hidden, and overt forms today. Now we got artificial intelligence overview. Now we got debt bondage. People are forced to work to pay off excessive, inescapable loans, often inherited across generations. Forced labor. Individuals are forced to work against their will under the threat of violence or penalty. Human trafficking. Victims are transported and coerced using force, fraud, or deception for labor or commercial sex. Domestic servitude. Workers are trapped in private homes, subjected to abuse, and denied personal freedom. Forced marriage. Women or children are married without consent, often facing physical and sexual abuse. Child exploitation. Children are forced into labor, military combat, or commercial sex rings. Now, historically, the most prominent form was chattel slavery, where individuals were legally classified as personal property and could be bought, sold, or inherited. So we want to be thankful for freedom. Civil and human rights. We want to be thankful. And so, what time is it? Yeah. We want to be thankful. continue to work toward maintaining, freedom for all people, for all human beings. And so, like I said, last week was 4th of July. Hope and pray that any and everybody had a safe and happy 4th of July and celebrate our freedom, celebrate equality, celebrate justice, celebrate liberty, celebrate the fact that the United States of America is a nation that no longer has slavery as an institution. There's one of those traditions that we want to reject. There's one of the traditions we want to reject. And so, let's just be thankful. Like the song says, be thankful for what we got. And so, be thankful for the United Nations, that's there for any and every human being on this planet. Thank the United Nations. And we want to continue to have the United Nations. But the United Nations for any and everybody, for any and every human being on this planet. It's for nature, for wildlife, for the environment. The United Nations there for, for the universe, really. So, let's be thankful. Let's be thankful. And, before I end the day, I want to say this. Like I say, last week, celebrated the 4th of July. And we were down here in the city of Memphis, Shelby County, right here in the state of Tennessee. And down on the riverfront, Mississippi River. It looked real nice. It was a nice sunshine day. And I was sitting out there down on the riverfront. And so, it was a nice sunny day. The sun was shining on the Mississippi River. Even seen some barges moving, they had then they had the river boats out there. It was a nice day. Now, before I end the day video, I'm gonna say this: that I'm glad, that we had technology, and that when you see people use technology in the right way, like YouTube video, like I'm making my YouTube video, really not trying to misuse YouTube, but really trying to use YouTube in a positive way to inform myself as well as others. And you got YouTube video, you got reels, and things like that. And so, because when we were talking about history, like the history of the United States of America, and all this history about slavery and all that, and then in all that slavery, I was looking at some of the reels, like Brooks Preserved, Black History Unfiltered. There's a lot of them, but then that was just like some of the ones I when you see the title, the page, but it's it's more and more because it's like individuals having a page and they talking about Black/African American, African history, all kind of facts coming out. They talking about facts, which is good. Because one of the things we've been protesting about as Black/African American is about our history. And there are things that have been said about these, just like we have all these historically black colleges and universities, as well as college and university. We have all the public schools as well as private schools, and charter schools. And so one of the things we've been talking about being, and then also not just history, but with DEI, diversity, equality, and inclusion. And so like I said, when it comes to Black/African Americans and just Black/African history, like another one, like a matter of fact, another one of those is Black History, World History. And a lot of things about, like, even though there was a lot of slavery here in the United States of America, despite the fact that it was slavery, one thing that people talking about is like inventions and how people who all of us as being slaves, and it were patents being filed by Black/African Americans right here in the United States of America. Not just one patent by one individual, but numerous patents. Before, like during slavery, as well as after slavery. People who were wealthy during and after slavery. And then another thing I like about a lot of these reels, they talk about the same, a lot of things about culture and customs. And the things you talk about, like Kush and Nubia and about about the civilizations in sub-Saharan Africa that don't get talked about. They don't get talked about. Before the slavers came, the civilizations in sub-Saharan Africa. Before, it's like before Judaism, before the Catholic Church, before Islam. We talking like BCE, and there's a lot of history being talked about on the reels, And I think it's a good thing. It's a good thing, a damn good thing. See, what's gonna happen is this. Just like I've been talking about the library. See, a lot of information and a lot of historians, like Dr. John Henry Clark, and I can't sit here and name all of it. It was just one. Dr. John Henry Clark, the man Carter G. Woodson, the man who started Black history here in the United States of America. And many of his colleagues, including, not just all men, women as well. Like I said, I can't sit here and name all, but it's a good thing. Because see, when you talk about all this civilization before Judaism, before the Catholic Church, before Islam, see, you're getting into prehistoric religion. See, there's a lot of traditions still today, even today. Even today. Now I was looking at the clock. And so, in that, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. And so, we take information that's being dispensed. When somebody do something right, you have to do the same thing. You can't take the positive thing that somebody did to try to go and get information and dispense that information. And then when you hear the information, when you receive the information, you do the opposite of what somebody else did. You do the exact opposite. It's just like we could sit here and talk about ragtime, like I've done. Talk about ragtime, which is culture and customs. It's important. Ragtime is important because ragtime is the basis of jazz and blues. And then you can talk about from jazz and blues, you get R&B, soul, and let's not forget gospel, because there wouldn't be no soul music without gospel and blues. Jazz is important because you had not just music, it wasn't just instruments, but it was also singing with jazz. And so when you talk about what you call hip hop and what you call rap and what you call the DJ, using that machine, you took the drum and a bass guitar and you call it, producing. Then you make all these sound effects and all that in it. And so what you call rap, when you listen to jazz and when you listen to blues, when you listen to R&B, when you listen to soul, the lyrics, a lot of the lyrics in the song They were rhyming. A lot of the lyrics in the song, it was rhyme. The words rhyme. So what you call taking a word and then have another word that sounded like, it didn't start with rap. It didn't start with rap. A lot of stuff didn't start with hip hop. We had a jug band. When it comes to making sound, it's just like when you used to hear some of the guys, using their mouth, to make rap. Like they use their body. But there was things people did in the past, but doing the same thing that you do today. And then, before I end the day, but a good thing about the reels and about history, and why we talking about ragtime, jazz and blues, is about the history. And when we talking about inventions and people being rich and things, the good thing about history being talked about and about these reels, it's just like it's just like rock and roll. Sister Rosetta Thorpe. See, that's what I was talking about. How people took what black/African American didn't even give credit. Didn't even get the financial benefits that other people got. It's a lot of, and that's the same thing about hip hop. You take it lightly about people taking people and for what they had done, and they didn't get the financial benefit. They didn't even get the credit. And that's a good thing about these reels when they talk about history, because there's a lot of history about like Hollywood and things. Matter of fact, I seen some stuff this morning. They were talking about Gone in the Wind and how, if you just sat there during that period of time and you just, without even doing any research, and if you just saw Gone in the Wind and you see somebody that's black/African American in the part they play in that movie, you'll start saying some stuff without doing research. You'll start saying some stuff like derogatory nigga. I wouldn't even. I'm talking about what you wouldn't do. I wouldn't even play that. But if it weren't for the black/African American who played in that movie, Gone in the Wind, and others like her, and then even before that, when we were talking about vaudeville and burlesque, the sacrifices that black men and black women made, that we really take advantage of, today, and don't even give credit. Just like all the black/African American musicians, men like Red Fox and his childhood friend, LaWanda Page, was his childhood friend. And Red Fox was a good brother that he stood up for LaWanda Page on that TV show, Sanford and Son. But they growed up together. And not only when they growed up together, but they went out on the chitlin circuit together. And when Red Fox got that part, Sanford and Son, it was because of Red Fox that LaWanda Page got put on the show. Because when she got put on the show, it was said that she was having trouble with her lines. And they was talking about taking her off. Red was like, look, I don't, if LaWanda go, then I got, and as you see that she didn't go. She was still on the show. But see, it was because of men like Red Fox. And then it was like a woman like LaWanda Page, who was really on that chitlin circuit and performing on the chitlin circuit. But that was her childhood friend, Red Fox. It came out of Missouri, out of the state of Missouri. And they growed up together. But like I was saying, if you had seen that movie, The Gone with the Wind, and other movies like that, and you see somebody black/African American during that early 1900s, when they started making motion pictures, and we were Jim Crow, but whatever part in the motion picture that or on Broadway or whatever, we shouldn't overlook the contributions that men and women made. What's her name? Big Mama Thornton. When they were talking about Hound Dog and the history of Hound Dog, how it was written and what was done, really didn't get no credit. Because you take the same song and Big Mama Thornton, she sing it, then Elvis Presley turn around and sing the same song. The same thing with Little Richard. Little Richard had a song, Tutti Frutti. The same song. When he sang it, it's one thing. When Pat Boone sang the same song, and it wasn't even like a few weeks later. It wasn't even a year. It was like a few weeks later. The same song. Pat Boone sang the same song that Little Richard sang. The same song. It's just like Chuck Berry. And they were talking about the Beach Boys. Some of the songs that have been written, been performed by somebody black/African American. And then you take somebody white and be something different. But it's the same song. The same song. And if it wasn't somebody singing it, it was somebody who wrote the song. Who was black. As a matter of fact, Elvis Presley, it was a couple of songs that went number one. Somebody black wrote the song, even sang the song. It was something different. It was, I think, what? That's All Right, Mama. That's All Right, Mama. Let me think. Hound Dog was one. And then it was some stuff they said about Elvis, what's his name? Tix. There's a lot of things, get brought up on the real. And so it's a good thing. Because, you know, it ain't just that. It's so much, man. It's so much. Sometimes I be sitting in the house. Sometimes I might, you know, be watching TV, and next thing I know, I'm sitting here with a reel, and it's been about 2 hours and past. I'm like, one reel, then the next one, talking about some black man was a ranch owner in Texas, and you know, it go on and on. It'd be like, I'm like, man, you know, I can do my own research, but you know, convenience, you know, the real, like, black man that owned a ranch in Texas, you know. And then it was talking about, like, it wasn't just him, it was this other guy. He was a cowboy and riding on the train, and when he started out, and you know, he taught all the white guys how to be a cowboy, you know. Oh man, it's all kinds of stuff, man. But you know, hey. But like I said, man, you know, that's how technology is being used in the right way. Technology is being used in the right way because it's benefiting. I'm benefiting from it. Shoot, I get a lot out of it. Shoot, you know. So you know, learn all you can, and you know, follow somebody's example, man. And then, you know, just like Roots Preserved, man, you know, you learn a lot. You know, when you see a YouTube video, people have recorded about us as Black/African American, you know, and made them videos, and you see those videos, you see people, you looking at us, you know, and you know, what we gonna know, our experience, what we experiencing, this Jim Crow, this segregation, you know, and you know, when we celebrate the 4th of July, go back and look at Roots Preserved. Go look at a video, Roots Preserved. Matter of fact, look at a reel and learn your history. And then, you know, when you celebrate the 4th of July, you know, when Juneteenth come around, you'll see how much Juneteenth mean to you. You know, you'll see what Memorial Day mean to you when you see all these Black/African American men and women serving, who've already served and serving in the armed forces. You know, you'll have a appreciation. You know. Like I said, man, you know, technology being used in the right way, you know, and so that's a good thing. And then before I end today's video, cause up there in Chicago, you know, that's a good thing. See, when people be running their mouth, and just like out there in Los Angeles, California, and when people were migrating from the South and going up north, you know, you had people that was doing all this migrating from the South, went out to like Los Angeles and to like San Francisco and Oakland, and you know, what's that? I think that's Sacramento, and then like you got the state of Oregon, and then you got like the state of Washington, like Seattle, Washington, and stuff like that. See, there's a lot of people that left the South, then went north. They also went out west. You know, because you know you have people, families, man. You know, when you think about your grandparents, that don't mean like your grandparents didn't have sisters and brothers themselves. Because I know mine did. They had, they had, they siblings, they had their siblings, But that's important. And so when I think about Chicago and everything, just like today, it's a lot of things, you know, just like a lot of videos and like I think about Mills Rico all the time, and I'll be like, man, you know, sometimes I see people make a video. It's some individuals that got killed. Some individuals got killed, and they ain't making video no more. And you know, them individuals, like I've been saying all the time. I've been saying all the time that damn stupid ass Larry Hoover nigga should have never got away this damn long. If it's anybody that should have got killed, it's him. And that the black disciples were right to try to kill his ass. They were right. See, when you talk about dualism and cosmology, and when you bitch ass niggas, just like that Blood gang, that Crip gang, see, them niggas went out there to California, did the same dumb ass shit that this stupid ass Larry Hoover did. Him and some of the other niggas tried to use Gnosticism to get a lot of niggas. You know? And so, which they did, you know. But like I've been saying all the time, see, when you talk about this dualism and cosmology, yeah, when Pepper Perry, he real. See, when you know what dualism and cosmology is, what you tried to do, Edwin Pepper Perry is real, just like I've been telling you all the time. The dirty sheets and the wailing sheep, they didn't do nothing wrong. They ain't do nothing because we black. And when you talking about two gods, that's dualism and cosmology. When you talk about all that polytheism, you talking about two or more, that polytheist mess. Hell, we as black people ain't did nothing wrong. Because our ancestors believed in one God. Just like Rabbi Akiva. The Jews believed in one God. There was a time in the past when the same Hebrew people, when they said Yahweh, they used to be polytheists. They went from being polytheists to monotheists because God revealed the word to Moses, and you know the story. Yeah. Hell, Rabbi Akiva, during the first century, at the same time that the Catholic Church was being persecuted, the Jews was being persecuted. The Jews was resisting the Roman oppression. Rabbi Akiva was being tortured for teaching the Torah. That there was one God. This man, Rabbi Akiva, had already told you. While being, had already told you. He did not want the Jewish community to be entangled with all that Grecian philosophy. And he didn't want Gnosticism to be an influence in the Jewish community. Shoot. Rabbi Akiva was being tortured by the polytheists. Excuse me. By the polytheists. Because he believed in one God. And before this man died, before he died, he read the Shema Yisrael. O Israel, your Lord God is one God. And then he died from being tortured. From being tortured. See, this is the reason why when I make my video, I tell the conservative vice lord, you tell them damn niggas in the jail to kill that damn nigga. You kill that damn nigga. You kill his ass. Because he thought he could get away. And you know it and I know it. He thought he could get away. When his ass was in the federal penitentiary, he got his sentence, Donald Trump. Community, you know, all this stuff Donald Trump was doing. That stupid ass Larry Hoover got sent back to the state of Illinois, state penitentiary. Them federal charges, Donald Trump, you know, but he still got state charge for that murder and for drugs and shit. So his ass back in the state penitentiary. You be the last summer gun that sit around this long. Cause like I've been telling them, nigga, I knew that his ass wasn't walking around. But you got to learn. You got to learn. See, Evan Pepperlo Perry, when he was in the youth center, and when he started, him and Ren Calloway, they was in the youth center. Conservative Vice Lord ran the whole damn youth center. And goddamn your ass got to learn. You got to learn how to kill somebody. It don't make no damn difference. You could have been on death row. Now see, if I want to get his ass, but you got to learn. You don't let no damn body walk the ass around. Talking about it's two gods. And then trying to oppress you. And trying to oppress you. Just like I've been telling you damn white people be putting the puppies and the kittens in the animal shelter. Talking about the material world evil. To be euthanized. But goddamn your ass, if the puppies and kittens gonna die, you got to die with them. Because I don't give a damn what you say about the material world. Fuck what you got to say. That's what I think about it. Fuck what you got to say. Go kill your goddamn self. Leave the puppies and the kittens. It's the same thing. That damn Larry Hoover nigga. You kill that damn nigga. It don't make no damn difference about his ass being locked up in the jail. 23 and 1. Well, I don't give a damn where his ass is. You supposed to kill him. See, but you're gonna have to learn what to do. See, I know what to do. See, it's more. See, it's a way. Tell them goddamn niggas in that damn chow hall. That's the first thing. But that ain't the only thing. Because his ass will never eat again. Because all day, every day, I'm going to make sure, goddamn, trying to kill your ass. Trying to kill you. In the laundry room, wherever. Your ass you going to die. You going to get killed. Going to kill you. You be the last goddamn son of a gun that walk your ass around in the state of Illinois prison system. This long. You'll be the last. I'm telling you. But while your ass in this Illinois State Penitentiary, gonna be trying to kill your ass 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You ain't gonna talk to me that way. And I ain't finna let you talk to Minister Rico that way either. That's what be making me mad. Because I'm telling them damn niggas this on my video. I might be down here in Memphis, Tennessee, but goddamn it, I can come up there. It ain't nothing to me to come up there to Chicago and I come and talk to Minister Rico my damn self. You don't tell me no shit like that. This is my mom and dad. I don't take that goddamn shit off nobody. Off nobody. You don't tell me no shit like that. No. Hell no. Talking about no two gods. No, and they ain't gonna try to oppress me. You got me fucked up. No, you ain't finna oppress me. Hell no. That's a lie. Talking about the material world evil. That's a damn lie. And as long as that goddamn nigga, that Larry Hoover nigga's alive, goddamn, you better believe this. You better know this nigga. Then I'm gonna be the motherfucker that's gonna be trying to kill you. I'm trying to kill you. I'm telling you. And them niggas in that jail, you gonna learn how to do something. I'm telling you. Evan Pepper Perry was a real nigga. He real. He's true. And you gonna learn. You gonna learn how to do something. Not gonna just sit your ass there because that'll be the last nigga that ever. Because see them bitches out there in California and them bitches on the East Coast. I ain't going. No. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That nigga trying to kill that damn nigga. I'm telling you, you'll be the last one. See, that's a good thing about them videos. See, like I be telling. See, that's what I tell conservative white Lord. See, in the past, all this Nazi shit, it's just like that Monroe Banks and this damn Black Diamond mess. You know damn well it ain't nothing legitimate about this shit. See, this is what I be telling you about doing the wrong thing for the wrong reason. It wasn't no reason. It wasn't no right reason for that to be done. It wasn't no right reason for that to be done. Zero. Wasn't no reason. They talking about some Enzo, goddamn motherfucking well that it wasn't no reason for Walter Reed to be killed. Damn well the one, and then you got some nigga talking about some Angelo Fold and talking about, man. It's just like Willie Lord. Some nigga over there talking about some traveling vice lord nigga. Some baby tie nigga. See, you do the wrong thing for the wrong reason. It wasn't no damn reason. See, all this Nazi shit. It wasn't no reason for that. It wasn't no reason for nobody did that. You just doing the wrong thing for the wrong reason. Just doing the wrong thing for the wrong reason. It's time, man, to get this shit straightened out, man. Because when you see YouTube videos, you don't see nobody doing nothing, doing the right thing for the right reason. You don't see nothing but people doing the wrong thing for the wrong reason. It's time for all this shit to end. It's time for all that doing the wrong thing for the wrong reason. It ain't no such thing as no material world being evil. It ain't no such thing as no Gnostic being right. It's time to get that shit straightened out. It's time for that fucking nigga, that damn Larry Hoover nigga, to be killed. It's been time for his ass to go. Black Disciple was right. King David Barstow, the real nigga, man. He real. He true. Jeff Ford, real and true. That was the right thing that Evan Pepper Perry did and the old heads did was Conservative Vice Lord Incorporated. It's coming back. It's coming back. Lord Stone Disciple. It was right. It was right. Evan Pepper Perry was right. I'm going to get ready to end today's video. Again, my name, I'm come back on my next video and pick up right back where I left off. But thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, Son of God, for all the blessings and guidance He provides us all with. Continue to pray about these natural disasters. Continue to pray about wars that are being fought. And continue to pray. Continue to pray. Non-stop. Continue to pray. And come back in my next video. We're gonna pick up. We're gonna continue to talk about prehistoric religion. We're gonna continue talking about African traditional religion, traditional African religion, ancient African religion, animism, shamanism, all that. Mathematics, all that. All the branches of science, because math and science, science and math, they go hand in hand. You can't have one without the other. You got to have math, you got to have science. So, I'll come back in my next video. We're going to pick up right where we left off. Again, my name is Eric D. Johnson. I was on BrightShine. Live right here in the city of Memphis and in the county in the state of Tennessee. Thank all my family, my support for your continued courage support. Look here, you take care of yourself, and I wish each and every one of you very best. And don't be listening to that Gnostic nonsense. Don't listen to nobody tell you no Gnostic nonsense for this reason. When that damn Gnostic be talking about the material world evil, don't you sit there and listen to them. You tell that some gun that you're supposed to kill yourself. What the hell you doing standing in front of me, talking to me about the material world being evil, and think I'm sitting there listening to you? Because I'm not. I'm looking at your damn ass. I want to kill you my damn self. I want to kill you my damn self. That's what I'm looking at you for. Because I'm knowing you're supposed to be dead. That's what you don't get away with. That's what you don't get away with. Take care of yourself, which is one of your very best.